The following presentation is brought to you by kmmedia.pro. Please visit kmmedia.pro for more information. Now stay right where you are as we present. Welcome to Positive Talk Radio, evolving ideas, one conversation at a time. Great guests, dynamic stories and interviews, plus new thoughts on a wide range of topics and concepts. I hope that you'll hang with me, Kevin McDonald, my friends, and of course, you. As together we work to understand why we are all here and what we can do to make our world a better place for all of us. To be happy, be kind, and live in peace together. Yep, that's Positive Talk Radio. Positive Talk Radio. I got to tell you, I'm very, very, very thrilled and pleased to have the guest that we have on today. I think that you're going to enjoy this conversation and what he has to say and the work that he's doing in the world, which is really magical. And as a matter of fact, his assistant uses the term magical in her voice or her emails. And so it's really great fun. John Abbott is here. John, welcome to Positive Talk Radio. How are you?
I'm sensational. In fact, we use magical everywhere in our organization, and it's really crazy because I've had this sign off, have a magical day for maybe 10 years, and my partner that I met, who now is my business partner and life partner, uses the same terminology and in her sign offs, and she uses magical everywhere. And now our entire organization has just taken this beautiful word that is all around how we create magical experiences and how we greet people from a place of magic and how we hope for people to have a magical day and continue on a magical journey. So we're all about unicorns.
Well, I gotta tell you, it is not very many people use that term in when they sign off on an email or whatever, but it really is. There aren't very many words like it and it means something really specific, which is, have an outstanding day, a great day, do something for yourself or for other people that is just magical. And the cool thing about that is when you when you create magic, when you put that out there, that's what you get back in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. Now let's talk about you. Are you in Spain today?
I am in Spain today, correct.
Very good. But your offices are in Bali.
Yes.
And you ended up there you came from Australia, is that right?
I originally came from South Africa. That's the crazy weird accent that I have, and I spent 10 years in Australia before I ended up being directed very clearly to Bali.
And what I really like about that is that you recognize that you are being directed and you act on that. So many of us, we get these epiphanies, these thoughts, these things that we should be doing, and our first reaction is, no, I can't do that. And so it's really nice to talk to somebody who actually follows his heart, follows his passion. And you've created a wonderful company that you do that specifically. And the mission statement is, by the way, the company is called Inspiro. Is that right?
Yeah.
And it is a highly effective marketing and sales agency. But what you do is you work with people who already have your message at heart and are working to get their message out. And your mission is to help them accomplish what you're already trying to do. Is that a fair explanation?
Yeah, exactly. It's we fit into the space of I call this the transformational speaker space, and this transformational speaker space is all these amazing human beings going out there and helping people do personal transformation, emotional healing, physical healing, you name it, anything that's got to do with that space of people evolving as a human race. We're in that space. We're representing amazing speakers who work inside of that. And essentially, our job or our mission is to help them create a greater impact in the world by reaching more people with the programs that they have. And we do that utilizing this amazing gift that was also handed to me and directed for me to utilize, called now named the giving model. So that's essentially it.
So where did you come from, young man? I mean, because this, I'm sure this is a journey and evolution of your life
Mm,
to get to where you are today. What was it that was your motivation to
mm.
want to do this rather than to search for the almighty buck?
Well, I did a lot of that. So let me be totally transparent that I am a spiritual being having a human experience, and I'm flawed in many ways, and I'm now just more aware of those flaws than in the past when the ego was very much in control and utilizing all of that to create havoc in the life and all of the things that we experience as a part of this, I guess, unconsciousness to what's available to us. So where I came from is obviously the South African side. I did a huge amount of entrepreneurship from early ages of 17. I was actually running and building my own business, very entrepreneurial. I I definitely carried for 20 years a huge drive towards success and status and money and more stuff. And I thought, that externalization would therefore, be a reflection of me being a good person or a successful person or whatever it is that I was chasing. But I was chasing something, and at 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 40 odd years old, I got I had a few beautiful lessons to kind of like I call it those Mack truck moments where everything just goes boom, and like literally you get hit by a Mack truck. And if anyone's been hit by a Mack truck, and I really hope you haven't, you can imagine these are life changing experiences. You lying flat on your back in a hospital, going, "What just happened?" And then you ask a better question. You go, "And is this all there is? Is this it? Is there maybe there's something else? Maybe there's something else at play here?" You start asking better questions. So I've had that show up a few times. That I see you want to jump in there, Kev.
Well, the reason I just about jumped out of my chair because my first of all, you call it a Mack truck, I call it a bad country music song. Uh, you know, you lost your house, you lost your dog, your dad died, you're and all those things happened to me as well. But why I was jumping out of my chair is that I firmly believe, and I think that this has to be, I've had so many people validate it now, that this has to be a question from the divine, which is, why are you really here? And is this all there is?
Yeah.
And it may not be in that order. It may be, is this all there is? And then you start thinking about it and going, why am I really here? What can I do to really honestly impact society and impact other people, even if it's just one person at a time, to
Yeah.
help them live their lives a little bit better? So that's why, because you had the same thought that I had at about the same time.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things that I've kind of learned along the way, which are these constant. Well, first of all, there's a belief here. The belief is that nothing happens to you; everything happens for you. So our job, and certainly this is my question. Everything is perfect in the world. My job is to see the perfection in my perceived imperfection. So, what is the perfection of being hit by that Mack truck? What is the perfection of this relationship breaking up? What is the perfection of the business being broken? What is the perfection of going bankrupt? Whatever that is, what's the perfection of that? And if it is perfect, and this is universal forces showing up for you, for the best good of you, for the benefit of you, to keep you on track, then your job is to go, so where should I go then? Where should I look? And that's a better question. What should I be doing now? What could I be doing now that draws me towards where university is kind of showing me? And like probably the biggest one that got me to Bali was the three-letter word called the GFC, global financial crisis. And in the heat of, or the height of my what do we call it, just growing of the empire, multiple businesses, fingers in many pies, totally loaned to well over my leverage that I should be at, and in the world that I was in, the world ended because suddenly all of the different things that I was using to finance this part that held up that part, and that held up that part, and that one dropped, and literally all of them just the whole lot just collapsed. And I found myself in $2.5 million of debt, and literally working out how to uncouple myself from all of these things that I had got myself into, and seeing, not seeing an end into that story for a while. Like just a long journey to try and see, how am I going to get out of this? How am I going to actually, work through this and actually, make good where I can? And that was that beautiful 2007, 2008 crisis that the whole world really felt. And I went into, admittedly, I went into that first part, which is like, why me? Like, what is it that I can do to kind of save this? I went into straight immediate trying to solve or fix the problem, and asking the questions on the poor me, the one who just got hit by the Mack truck.
Well, and I can tell you, John, that a lot of us have got issues. Owing owing other people $2.5 million, that is a Mack truck. I will tell you that's got to be hard.
And I had many sleepless nights for about a year. I went through the process of trying to rationalize what had happened, trying to work out ways and whatever else to save different parts of it. And at the end of the day, what really helped me to actually come to peace was this place of having to come to surrender. And it came with a beautiful message from the mentor that I'd asked to help, which was, in his words, John, if you don't let go of this ridiculous need to save this, this will be my last conversation with you. I will no longer continue to mentor you. And you'll probably lose your wife, your kids, and everything else as well, as part of it. And I was in tears. I was like, what are you saying to me? I thought you're supposed to be mentoring me to try and he was like, you've got to just let this go. You've got to let it go. And in that surrender was all of the opportunity to then actually look at a different way, or look at a different, look in a different direction, rather than facing all of the stuff that was breaking. I turned around and went, okay, I can't fix that. It's unfixable. I'm dealing with it in the way that I have to deal with it, go through the process, but I need to turn and look the other way and see where I'm being directed. And the only thing that was left out of all of that was actually still in one piece was my marketing business, which was marketing a beautiful speaker in Australia called Roger Hamilton, and an amazing program that he had together. And that continued to work, and things were starting to develop there, and suddenly I could start adding value back into that side of things. And so things shifted, and within 10 months I found myself at an airport with with everything basically cleaned up, and essentially about to board the plane. And I had this realization, and I had tears in my eyes. I was standing there going, wow, I no longer need to show up to pay anyone one more cent. Like the relief of that, the shift in your life force is like, I can't explain it. It's this liberation is the best probably word that most people would use in this moment, when literally all of that has been left, and now you're getting on a plane and you're going to go live in a whole different country and new a whole new adventure, because the last 10 months has gone, go this way, go this way, go this way, and then people invite you to go live in their resorts for the next 2.5 years, rent free, and you go, I'm out. That's where I'm going. That's where I'm going, because that's where it's driving me. And that was in 2011, 2010, 2011. Landed in Bali, and from that moment, carried on, continued to work on all this part of surrender and surrender and surrender more and more and more. And I'm not finished. I am not done yet.
Well, you won't be done until you're done, if you know what I mean.
Totally, totally.
You know,
But
we go ahead.
Yeah. I guess that these are those experiences that people go through, and my story is no bigger or worse or different to whatever that story is for you, that is so painful, that you're lying in fetus position, bawling your eyes out, going, what the hell just happened? And I had many times where I lay in the corner crying my eyes out, going, what is this? What is happening here? What can I do? And eventually just asking better questions. And once you can actually get out of the poor me line of questioning, and you can go to a different question, like, what can I do now? Where can I add value now? It's
And
it's
that
a
takes
different choice.
that takes a certain amount of courage to be able to do that, because in that situation, there are lots of choices that you could have made. You could have, thank God you didn't. You could have committed suicide. You could have,
Yeah.
you could have gone and hidden in a bottle, or or some prescription drugs, or there just were a lot of things. But and I'm glad your mentor did that, because you valued him enough to not want him to go away. So it was the shock that maybe you needed.
Yeah, totally. He was the only one there that I could actually have this conversation with, who was continuously there for really helping me through the conversations, and giving me process, like, just do this and just do that. But he has a very deep spiritual side, and I guess once I was able to move through enough of that stuff, the next part really was to go, okay, now identify emotionally what's going on here. What are some of the beliefs that I play here? What are some of the saboteurs that are showing up, that you have inside you, that are now playing a very, very big part, or fully in control of where your life is going, and really opening up that conversation, so I could actually start to see that. And the crazy thing is, for 10 years, I thought I'd been going through self-development work, and meditation and all sorts of programs, and I thought I'd kind of like tick those boxes. Yeah, I've done lots of personal development. I know all that stuff. Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, I'm involved. I'm a spiritual being.
Well, like I said, it is the journey. And the other thing is that we all need a coach. We all need somebody who can be our mentor, who can help us see through our blind spots, things that happened in our youth, the stories we
Yeah,
tell ourselves, all of those things, so that we can get through to get to the other side, and then realize that none of it really mattered to begin with. It's all we get to have incredible freedom with this life, that we can do anything we choose to. All we have to do is choose.
yeah,
Do and it's important, I think, for us to do that. And I'm so glad that you made that decision to go to Bali and to change because now you've the CEO of a company. Well, more so than you were before, and you've also got a beautiful partner who happens to be your wife. And so it's kind of like everything on the other side. Everything came out just the way it was supposed to, didn't it?
Well, I love that you said that because I believe everything is perfect. I believe that everything is lining up for you. Our biggest challenge is that we just get in the way of actually having it all now. All of our beliefs, all of the mind chatter, all of the ego is so at play and so control of our every thought and our every action that literally we're sabotaging that living a heaven on earth. And I think that's, most people don't know that. We're unconscious to it. And I absolutely was totally unconscious to this for 40 years of my life. Well, probably the first 10 years I was you know was waking up out of being born, and then going through all of the belief systems and structures that get kind of plugged in, and then going into the next 30 years of unconsciousness, and now in the last 20 years of therapy.
Well, but you're still a young man, and you're making a really cool imprint on the world, and
Mm,
that's so. Let's talk about
mm,
in spiral.
mm,
It says here on your website. By the way, if you want to go to review his website, you can. It's in spiral.agency. Is there something like CA after that, or
no,
is it
just
just
that
that?
agency.
Okay, and so you can go there, and they've got a lovely message for you. If you are a speaker, if you are somebody that really wants to make a change in the world, but a positive change, that is, and you're having trouble putting all the pieces together, this is one of the things that they do with their program is that they help you put the pieces together so that you can do what you're already doing, but do it better and have a
Mm.
bigger impact. Is that a fair explanation?
Yeah, you're right on there. I guess if I were to just add a little bit to that, is it's really this. There's two aspects to this. There's one aspect which is we have a model, we have systems, we have processes that we utilize with the biggest in the marketplace, the top speakers of the world, and we help them to increase their market share or their positive impact by being able to reach people who otherwise may not believe that they could have actually been able to reach and utilize and access the programs that they have available. So my message is to people who kind of just know that I know that I want to be a coach. I want to help people. I want to be able to help people evolve because you've gone through your own process of evolution, or you know that you're a healer. You have certain amazing innate abilities that some people might say is a little bit woo woo because like you are able to feel people's energies, or you've got an ability to see people's futures and past, or whatever it is. You've got a gift for the world, and you want to actually take that to the world, and you want to actually help more people to get the benefits of that, and actually get the healing, or get the the evolutionary process, or even coach other people to be able to utilize your tools to go out and do it themselves. Create legacy for what's there by allowing other people to continue once you're gone, because we all know that one thing's for sure, we'll all be gone at some stage. um, then this is the model that's been kind of created over the last 10 years, and that was gifted to me, again, universal forces. Helps people to really make a massive difference and actually impact and reach so many more people as part of that. And that's really the giving model. And that if I were to, I'd love to kind of share a little story of how that started, if that's okay, Kevin.
Absolutely.
So um, yes, I've just moved to Bali, 2011, 2012, 13. I'm kind of helping to run some events and to fill up the resort that I'm living in, with the speaker that I'm working with. And 2013, 2014, we start to run some really cool events in Bali with the Green School in Bali. If you've never heard of the Green School in Bali, look it up, greenschool.org. They've been given or been voted the greenest school on earth for like 3 years in a row. And obviously schools from all around the world kind of put in applications for that, who are playing in that side. And amazing school, all made out of bamboo, incredible bamboo structures, all open, wide open, and sort of integrated classrooms with nature. It's quite an extraordinary place. So I'm inspired by the work they do. The guy, Roger, who I'm working with, is inspired by it. He's got his kids there. We meet up with a couple from the Transformational Leadership Council, who are running a program called Super Camp in the US. And if you've not heard of Super Camp in the US, go and look that up. Because if you've got kids who are in teens, then this program creates leaders. It takes kids from no matter where they are in their life. If they feel like they're not confident, or they're not doing great in their grades, or they're struggling internally or stuff like that, put them into Super Camp. It'll shift their entire world. It's an extraordinary program. So we linked the two together. We said, let's run Green Super Camp. We'll take Super Camp from the US, we'll bring it to Bali, and we'll run it at the Green School. So we went, okay, great, let's do that. Let's go out and find some kids. Why not? So we started marketing, and 3 months of marketing, and we've got about 30 odd kids signed up for the program. It's about a $3,000 program. Or not about, it is a $3,000 program. Or that's what the price point was for us in Bali. Not too sure what it is around the world. I think it's probably similar. We put a lot of resources into this. The first time around, we bought tents and all sorts of things for the kids, because the kids actually stay on campus and all sorts of things. And we've really put a lot in, and we're about 5 students short of just breaking even, and that was our aim. Let's break even. Let's just get this thing proven, and we take up all those initial costs, and then the next one will be much easier, and then we'll have some flow, and there'll be lots of people telling it, and there'll be lots of people repeating, and all that type of thing. So let's just do that. And however, at 2 weeks to go to the program, after now 2.5 months of marketing, two weeks to go. It's 2 weeks before July, and in July in Bali, if any of you know Bali in July, it's the tourist time of Bali, because all the Australians are in winter, and they all jump on planes and come over to Bali and have themselves a ball. Oh. And so everyone, you can see people are booking planes and stuff like that to come over, and the planes, the airlines go bonkers at this. They love it. All their prices just start to shoot up. So what's a $300 return flight now is $600, and then it's $800. Now it's $1,000. And I'm watching this every day. It's going up hundreds of dollars. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, how are we gonna number one, get more people to come? I need those next 5. And with all these expenses, it's just getting harder and harder for me to justify that anyone else is going to buy it. And we're sitting around, and there's a few of us in the meeting, and I don't know. These are those magic moments when something's not inside the potato right now, but then suddenly it is, and you go and you say something, and you have just no idea where that came from. And I just said to guys, why don't we give one of the programs away? Everyone looks at me and goes, what do you mean? we're already short on budget. We can't just give one away. That wouldn't make any sense at all. I'm like, I don't know. There was just something there in me that kind of it came out, and then I started to think about it, and I went, maybe this could work. And then I kind of spoke them through the idea, let's give one away, and then as a second prize, let's give a scholarship towards a second prize, the second prize winners of 50%. And so just let me backtrack two moments. We had run every single marketing angle at this. We'd run buy one, get one free, super early bird, early bird specials, like, you name it. We'd done every single marketing trick in the book to get here. And now we were, those 2 weeks out, and for the past month, all of the marketing was creating crickets. There was no one responding. Like, there was like little. It felt like I was in a deserted little village, and you're going to get those round things kind of bouncing through. It's just quiet. Nothing's happening.
Tumbleweed.
Tumbleweeds, those things. Like, it's just crickets, and the database is not responding. So this is what we're dealing with. Like, literally, how do we get these 5 people? How do we find 5 people who will buy the program? We only needed them to buy it at half the price. Like, we only, like, $1,500 for 5 people. So anyway, let's give one away. Everyone's like, nah, that's crazy. You've got 2 weeks. How are you going to even run this? Anyway, gets to the end of the meeting. No one's really excited about it. I'm saying I'm going to do it anyway. And this is how I'm going to do it. And let's see. Like, if we don't try, what are we going to? We've got no better ideas. No one had any better ideas. So I go back to my computer and I go, worst marketing ever. Write everything in one email. I did it. Have no time to build a web page for this. Wrote everything inside the thing. I said, we're going to give one away. This is the program. This is all the content. I literally, it was this long form email. Like, whoever reads these anymore? So we made all of the mistakes that you make in marketing. I built a web form. I've got some technical abilities. So I went online, I kind of built this little web form and put that together and sent out an email that gave people 24 hours, or actually, no, I gave them 12 hours. It wasn't 12 hours, it was one day. It was 12 hours. Literally by tomorrow morning, we're going to actually be announcing the winners. We're going to be reading through the applicants and we're going to announce the winners. I looked at the databases. I searched through everything that was happening. I found 427, I think it was, if I remember correctly, 427 people who are still consistently opening emails over the last month. So I'm going, maybe they're still interested. Maybe. So send it out and then go to bed. Wake up the next morning and I'm like super curious. I have no idea what to expect. I get to the computer. There's 12 applications. I go, excellent. Let me read the first one. I get into the first one. I'm reading it through and I'm going, whoa, okay. And get about halfway through the email. I start bawling my eyes out. I'm like, what am I reading here? What is this lady telling me? Take a step back. The question I'd asked is, as part of your application, let us know how this program, by your child coming through this program, will impact their lives. That was just the question I thought about. This first lady was telling me about how her daughter, at 13 years old, had been a bit beaten up at school. She was she was shifting. Her whole energy had been shifting in massive ways. Her grades were dropping radically. She was really nervous and around in her own body and around other people. And she was like my daughter, like this, she's on a railroad and I can see it. I need to get her some help. This program, I can see all of what this could do for my daughter. And I have very little money. I had almost no money. And I get to the end of it, and I remember saying to myself, I hope the rest of the 11 aren't like this deep. Kid you not, 11, 12 of those emails, I just had tissues like the whole way through. I could not believe how extraordinarily vulnerable these mums and dads were writing these applications. I was absolutely blown away. Just wow. So long story short, we choose the first lady. We get on the call. We announce her as the winner. We have a conversation with her. It's just there's not a dry eye anywhere to be seen. She's crying. Her kids are crying. Like literally everyone's in tears. she somehow worked out how to get money to get flights and stuff like that. Her kid came over. Incredible transformation, by the way. And then I made the next 7 calls and had 5 people take up the 50% scholarship with us. And I closed it and I was done. I was like, that's it. That's all I need to do. And, completed on that campaign and thought to myself, not at the same time, but maybe a week or 2 weeks or maybe a month later, maybe there's something in this. And maybe there's a way of us actually coming into this whole industry with a different, I guess, a different heart towards the impact we want to create, and a different way that we actually put our message out, and a different consciousness on how we write our marketing, and how we start to really connect with other human beings where they're at. And so after that, that's since become the giving model, and we've run, I'd say, hundreds of competitions, contests. We're running constant scholarship programs for our clients, and I can't describe the joy and fulfillment and gratitude I have every single time I see another person winning an entire program and being able to shift realities for another human being, or have a massive ripple effect because of the work that they're committed to. And it changes things. It changes things. And for everybody we represent, when they read their applications and then they choose the winners, there's a new level of heart connection to the people who are doing the work and who are coming through their programs that they've never had before. And for them to be able to give the gift of the entire program. And I'm not saying that you've got to do that every time. Scholarship programs and part scholarship programs are amazing as well. But when you are able to come from this place of total abundance of the work that you're doing, and you're able to reach, like we just, one of the campaigns we just ran now, we reached this amazing human being in Nigeria.
I wanted you to tell that story.
Yeah. So she's this extraordinary human, and she was put in prison in her late early 20s for petty theft. She had a child less than 3 years old that she was separated from by going to the prison, and she went through extraordinary trauma as a mum. And she vowed when she got out that she would help other people to get through this. So she has this organization where she has I think like 20 or 30 volunteers working with her, and they go into prisons in Nigeria. I think there's 2 or 3 prisons that they're working with, and actually because of the work they're doing, they're actually being invited into other parts of Africa to go help in the prisons, female prisons specifically. And they've been doing this work. They've been showing up and just doing this amazing work and helping women come through the traumas and the upsets and all of the stuff that you can imagine would show up for a mum who gets separated from her daughter because of some stupid little thing, and then being thrown into jail for years on end, and then coming out, and how that then plays out in the way that they then show up in life. So many people come out of prison really, really angry and really, traumatized. And actually, the first thing they do is try and get back in. And if we can find a way of shifting that for them, so when they come out, they've already gone through a huge rehabilitation process before they even leave, then imagine how that ripples out. So she just won the mastery coaching program offered by Tony Robbins and Chloe Madanes.
Oh, wow.
It is possibly one of the best in the world. In fact, Tony will tell you it is the best.
Continually.
She won that, and she's going to be able to go through the whole course and get to that point, that level of mastery over the next year and a half. she's able to then train all of her team in all of that content, and the ability for them to then be master interventionists, being able to get in and actually help people through all of the stuff that they're dealing with is extraordinary. We cannot even perceive the amount of impact that's going to create around, just in that country, let alone outside of that as it ripples out. So this is what we get to see, every single month in our organization.
That must be a lot of fun to run an organization where you're actually, and you can see it, you're actually making a difference in people's lives. That's gotta drive you every day to get up and to go to work.
And yeah, it's also what drives me to be a better human, because I absolutely know for sure that for me to be able to play at the level of the game that these clients are playing at, I have to shift my own frequency, my own vibration, my own mindset to even have me come into some level of interaction with them. This is that whole idea of when you take a pitch for a tuning fork and you knock one tuning fork, anything else that's in the same vibration of that tuning fork is actually pulled towards it. And this is science of frequency and sound, and we have it in us. When we start to vibrate and increase our internal vibration, our consciousness, then we are attracted, and we automatically get pulled towards these other individuals who are at the same vibration. And that is both the top end of that or the bottom end of that. So if you're getting pulled into gangs and those types of things, or people who are kind of like taking you on the wrong path, then you just for sure that it's time to shift your vibration. Start to do some inner work. Start to to find new people to hang around, so that you can be influenced by them and actually help them, help yourself actually evolve your own frequency.
Sometimes it takes walking away from, or in my case, the universe planned it. My whole existence, I feel, has been planned by the universe, and they just said, nope, that's not going to work. They're not going to work. They're gonna walk away from you, and you're gonna have to let that go. And then over time, you're gonna reassess, and and the right people with the right vibration are gonna come into your world, and they are gonna help you. I think that's open to all of us,
Yeah.
if we're willing to let that happen.
When the student is ready, the mentor appears, or when the mentor is ready, the students appear.
That's also true. That's also true. The other thing that I really love about your program is that you don't take everybody. They have to apply, and they have to. It has to be a right vibrational match and energetic match for you to want to work with somebody. And I think that's very honest of you and very real.
Yeah, I think it's I think there's well, not I think there's real clarity for me, and it's kind of like a rite of passage. People who are doing the work and looking to evolve themselves and looking to get out of the self-talk and the self-doubt and the victim game and all that type of thing. Those people who are kind of shifting away from that are really clear on what they're wanting to go for. And what we look for in applications is we look for those individuals who, number one, have clarity that they're moving towards a purpose far greater than themselves. Mm. And they may not be clear on what that is right now. The purpose right now is to just get away from what I'm doing over here, and get out of my debt and get out of these circles, because I know that there's something else over here. And sometimes the away from energy is actually good to kind of start this process. Certainly when you get hit by a Mack truck, that's usually what it is. Like, I got to stop doing that. So that's one part of it. And then the other part are those incredible human beings who are already living their purpose and doing amazing work, totally, this in full sacrifice of all, like this is the, like they cannot think of anything else to do other than this one thing. And you can hear they are so incredibly motivated. They are super inspiring. You read their applications, and the hairs are standing up on your arms. The tears are coming out. You're going, my God, I can't believe that there's still such good humans on this planet. And there's lots of them. There's a lot of amazingly good humans doing incredible work with amazing hearts and so committed to creating a positive impact in the world. So that's what we look for. People who are, poor me, please give me this, please. Like they don't get past the first door. Like, the application comes in and we see it coming a mile away, and they don't. We give them a beautiful piece of feedback for them to see the opportunity to shift. So, we don't just leave people who put those applications in. Our job is to leave somebody in a better place no matter what. So if they put an application in, they take their time and they pour their heart out about how they've been beaten up by their mother, their brother, their sister, like all that stuff. That's okay. And this is what's keeping you here. This entire conversation is why you're still here. And we help them through that process. And depending on who we're working with, we help them with different tools. So we give them resources and free resources to be able to go and look at shifting that basic stuff. For everybody else, we go, okay, let's see what we can do with this person. And there's going to be a winner. Somebody's going to get the whole thing for free in a contest, in a competition perspective, or if it's a scholarship, we're going to have a conversation and we're going to see if we're able to meet you at your stretch. And your stretch is a financial stretch. And I guess the big thing for me on the giving model is this ability. The giving model gives me the ability to bridge the financial gap between the rich and the ones who have not worked out the value exchange of money. However, they've worked out all this other stuff. You see this in a huge way in the arts industry, in the music industry, in the these amazing artists and that you see it in massive ways who are dead broke, who have extraordinary value in these gifts that they bring into the world, but they can't work out the bloody money. So therefore, they can't access any of these programs, which are 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, which would shift their reality, shift their consciousness, shift all of the aspects around money, because they'll be able to give up all of that stuff and they'll be able to work through it whilst they increase their ability to become masters of their art. So what the giving model is all about is finding those humans who are absolutely committed to the journey and actually committed to achieving that and evolving that experience of life through a program that they're super interested in, they're super excited about doing. They can see how it's going to benefit them. They can see themselves at the end of it. They already are imagining the next that higher version of self. And we help them. We hold them through that process as our agents, our coaches, our assessment team. We hold them. We sit with them. We help them break through some of those beliefs, even in the call. Sometimes that still shows up as a second time and a third time inside, and we help them just break through. And then we meet them at a stretch, not a stress, because we know that if people are still going for a stretch financially, they're going to put everything in. So we help them at a stretch, not a stress. We don't need more people stressed on this planet. And there is some stress. There is some stress in a stretch, but it's a positive stretch to pull you forward. That's the intention of that stretch for them, is to pull them forward so they show up and they actually commit to it and they actually do the work. And then we're able to with larger clients like the Robins and the likes, we're able to increase their ability to reach 20, 30, 40 and more percent more than they ever were able to, because of this mechanism. And that means thousands, or I don't know what it will be, but it will probably be tens of thousands more people becoming coaches through their organization as a result of the giving model. So that's essentially our mission as a big tech. Our mission is absolutely to maximize the positive impact of the speakers through their programs by being able to reach more people on the planet.
By the way, we are talking with John Abbott. He is the CEO of In Spiral, and it is a company out of Bali. He and his significant other, lovely wife, and
Estella.
partner, Estella, are running the thing. They're doing a fabulous job, and you're doing it from your heart, and you're doing it from the right way. I gotta ask you though, because and I asked you the first time how you found me, because that I thought that was a really interesting story that your assistant Brooke actually is the one who found us.
Yeah, so we're really clear, and this is about everything that we do. Everything that we do, we're just super conscious on the energy that we put out and the energy of the people that we're inviting in. And a part of this conversation of the giving model is a new commitment from myself to really start to give out, freely give out the technology. I want more speakers being able to run scholarship programs and financial programs that can have more people do their programs, because I know that inside of them doing the programs is the evolution of that human. And this is what we're doing. We're raising the consciousness on the planet together with them. So, my real clear direction with everything that we're doing, like getting this message out, is let's find the people who are already speaking the good work, and they're already speaking to conscious humans who are looking to evolve, and let's find people who are committed to this and doing an extraordinarily good job, and therefore, again, all vibrational matches. Kevin shows up. I get a link from Brooke going, "What do you think?" And I go, "It's a no-brainer. Like, we're in. Let's go talk to Kevin and the people listening in there, because clearly this is a human who's committed to this no matter what."
And I honestly, John, that's absolutely true. No matter what, because and that's why I value your work and what you're doing, because we all can work together to achieve a higher vibration for folks who can then change the world. And I live in the United States. And there's a whole lot in our world that needs to be changed currently. So we're
And it's
working.
all perfect.
Nothing is all perfect. You're right, and we're an evolving species, and we have to treat each other with admiration and caring and love, and and it's hard sometimes, but that's what we really want to do. And I think it's great that you're reaching out to a podcaster like me. First of all, I want to on the air. I want to tell you that I will interview anybody that you would like me to interview, of any of the coaches that you work, and obviously I'll just do it because I like to. So anybody that you or Brooke or Estella or Stell
Yes, the
and want me to interview, I'm all in, and I'll do it
great.
day or night, and whatever works for them, because I really believe that through this medium, I'm not a coach per se. I don't have a program per se, but I believe that through this medium I can affect one person at a time, that's listening to this program, and by bringing people like you here, that people can now recognize, hey, there's some really cool people out there that are doing some really cool stuff. Maybe it's not as bad as I think it is. Maybe I should change what I'm thinking and how I'm acting, how I'm showing up in the world. Maybe I can show up a little bit better. And by if nothing else, by saying hello to the grocer, the bus driver. I drove a bus for 12 years, and so I know what it's like to talk to people and to smile and stuff. But it's really important for us to do that for each other, because I know that we are all one, and we are all the same, come from the same place, the same spirit, and all that stuff. So I really appreciate you taking the time. I know how busy of a guy you are, and it is, what time is it there? Is it 8 o'clock at night?
I started at 6 this morning. It's and I've been on calls pretty much flat out to 8 o'clock today. So that's going on a 14 hours. So it is at 8 p.m. Correct, but an absolute pleasure, and you can see I just light up in a conversation like this, Kevin, and thank you for bringing this to the world, and speaking these positive words for people to help them evolve. Like this is a medium that gives people access directly to beautiful stories, and I believe inside of a story there's an opportunity to touch different people's hearts who are ready to hear that story. And I really honor you for really putting your heart out and actually finding those people and sharing those stories. And for anybody who's kind of listening and going, hey, that's I love what you're doing, John, and that's great for you, and I, great great what your business is doing, everything else. If you are a coach, or you've been in the sales industry, and maybe you'd actually you love to be a professional inside of the industry of being able to have conversation, and you love number two is that you love having conversations that actually evolve people. Maybe one of those people that everyone keeps coming to for some coaching or whatever else, and you'd love to be in conversations. We have an application on our website, and you can apply for one of our agents, one of our assessment agents positions, where you can literally be having for 3 or 4 or 5 hours. You actually choose your time, have these amazing conversations with human beings who are looking to evolve their life, and potentially purchase different types of programs, and health programs, and emotional healing programs, and breathwork programs, and yoga programs. Like, you name it, we represent so many different aspects, and we'd love to help more people to have those conversations, because I know that in those conversations you shift and you change, and you take that back home, and that shifts your experience and the family's experience of life.
And if you want to go to that website, it is inspiral.agency. That's inspiral.agency. I highly recommend that you do that. If we all have to make a decision in life at one point or another. I did it when I was in my early 40s. It was like, is this all there is? And why am I really here? And we all get faced with that decision either before we get hit by the Mack truck or right after we get hit by the Mack truck. And they can help you sort it out, and to figure out where you belong, where are your gifts, what do you really want to do with yourself, so that at the end of the day, on your last day, you can look back and say, I did all right. I did the best I could, and I tried to be the best person I could. And I think that's really, at the end of the day, that's all we get, isn't it?
We only get this one life. we may come back on another iteration. I believe that this is one of many, but this is the one that we're going to get in this body and this level of consciousness. And my belief is that can we become the best versions of self? Can we become part of the evolutionary process that Mother Nature and life is guiding us to become anyway? And can we add value to that? Because I think that that being able to add value to that is the parts of the parts that you'll remember, that you'll take back to your to your grave. That's the people who people remember you for doing good work, and actually and if you have these gifts, and you are a trainer already, or you're speaking and you're helping people and you're coaching them, then this is amazing work. And let me put that out as well. If somebody in here is actually looking to grow their speaker business, or looking to evolve their the level of the game that they're playing, and they want to actually make a greater positive impact, then also reach out to that same website, and you can apply to actually become one of our clients. We at this moment, unfortunately, we're backlogged, so there is a waiting list. And in this moment, we can only take a certain level of client. But I also have a speaker circle where I actually coach speakers on this whole process of being able to create extraordinary businesses and extraordinary trainings, and actually really evolve the level of the game that they're playing and the reach that they're being able to, and the impact that they therefore can make.
There's a reason why there's a waiting list. It's because people know that you're effective, and that's why there's a waiting list. Because good people want to work with the best, and you are the best. And in closing, I just would like to say one thing, and that is that I believe that we all came here for a purpose. We chose that purpose before we came here. We have the opportunity to live that purpose every day, but we have to be conscious about it and understand why we are here, and what our gifts are, and how we can contribute to the betterment of society, the betterment of mankind. And all we have to do is just remember what we decided to do before we even got here. And believe me, great things will happen. They happen all the time. And and sometimes you got to be careful what you wish for, because you might get it in a different way than you thought, but that's okay. But John, we have to go because I need to honor your time, but I wanted to give you a minute to tell our audience anything that you would like them to know, those that are listening now and those that will be listening in the future.
I feel that the best message I can put forward is this idea which I mentioned earlier, which is around do your best to see the perfection in everything that's showing up. And the best advice I got that I read in I can't remember the book I read it in, but it basically speaks about the space between the event and the response. And if you can just increase the space between that event or whatever shows up and the way you respond to it, gives you time and gives you space to consider a different way of showing of responding, because you build space to become an observer. And if you could just take a bit more time to become a bit more of the observer of your life, and I'd really recommend people do this as a practice every day, not in the heat of the moment, not in the heat of that argument you're having with your wife, going, oh no, I'm going to try to be, because now you're in the game, not during the game, outside the game. Practice, soccer or whatever the game is that you play. Don't try and practice inside of the game. Practice outside of the game, and then take the practice to the game. So practice building space between those events and the way that we respond. And in that observation, the question you to ask is, what is the perfection in this for me?
We've been talking with John Abbott. He's the CEO and head bottle washer of Inspiral.agency. Go there, get on the waiting list, work with him. You'd be working with the best. John, again, thank you for being here.
Such a pleasure. Thank you so much, Kevin.
And if you'll wait right there, I'll be right back. Hey, thanks for enjoying this episode all the way to the end. Please give us a like and subscribe to this channel. This has been a production of PositiveTalkRadio.net. Please visit our website, oddly named PositiveTalkRadio.net, for more details about us and our mission, which is to provide great positive programming designed to inspire us all. I'm Kevin McDonald, and I'm proud of these shows, and I truly hope that you'll like them and share them with friends and family. So on behalf of our entire team, remember, be kind to one another, because each other